Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. As you know, WWE Evolve, as you probably know, are going to have a gauntlet match to determine a brand new Evolve Women's Champion. So, who will walk out as our new champion? So, we'll just have to wait and see, and there'll be other plenty matches as well. And then we move on with AEW Dynamite. As you probably know right about now, we enter the fallout after Dynasty. However, of course, Darby Allin is on a hunt to get a shot of his AEW World title. But the real question is, will MJF actually give him that shot? So we'll just have to wait and see until we get there. But first things first, it's been a while since I actually reviewed one of these events. As you probably don't know, All Japan Pro Wrestling has begun their annual round robin tournament, Champion Carnival, which is similar to the G1 by New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I will explain a little bit of the rules to all of you so you can understand as well. Now we're also going to end this episode with a very short news update to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as events and promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. In the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information is unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also could do some real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got to Nagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us and click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough of the jibber jabbers, so let it begin. So let's start with All Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, All Japan Pro Wrestling. And as you probably may not know, we have begun with day one of their annual round robin tournament, the Champion Carnival. Now, many of you may not know of this particular tournament. It is similar to the G1. Basically, it's a point-based system type of tournament. So basically, if you win, you get 2 points. However, if you lose, you get 0. But in a situation where there is a time limit draw or a double count out or draw, time limit draw or whatever, it resulted with 1 point each. So it's similar to it's the same. It's similar to the, of course, with the G1 climax that will happen later on in the summer. But however, we did have the indication who will be participating this year. Now, the winners, of course, the current champion of the Triple Crown champion is none other than Kento Miyahara. He has won that belt I don't know how many times, but he is an excellent champion. Very get going with the crowd going, getting it all fired up for the match. But this is who, in fact, is involved in two different blocks of this tournament. Let me pull it up here. No, I saw it here. Here it is. Okay, so we got in the A block Risato, Kengo Mashimo, Go Shiozaki, Kuma Arashi, Talos, Yuma Anzai, Kento Miyahara, our current champion, and then Odyssey, formerly known as Odyssey Zone. Um, that we have Daisuke Sekimoto, Zion Quinn, many of you remember from NXT, Ren Ayabe, Yuma Aoyagi, Hideki Uzuki, Jun Saito, Riko Honda, and Makoda Kadura. So yeah, so these are the current participants. So there's like each wrestler in two different blocks. So we got A and B on this one. Now they did the opening ceremony, introducing everyone who was involved. Now a whole lot of them will be in the tournament, having their matches. But we did have a few who were involved. Now we did have like a bit of an no, a six-person tag match here. We have Hikaru Sato, Dan Tamura. They team up with Akuda Omori. Um, they take on Shota Kofuji, Seiki Shioka, and Seigo Tachibana. Now the match was okay, a pretty good opener, but not like the best one I would think. But nonetheless, it was alright. I know that some of these wrestlers are basically our junior heavyweights, so that makes perfect sense about why they're there. But the match ended with a magistral by Tamura onto Tachibana, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Now, we begin with the A block of the Champion Carnival, of course. We have Kuma Arashi. Yep, that's what he does every single time. He takes on, of course, Rei Sato. Now, Rei Sato, he is a beast. For those who've never seen him, him and his brother demolished the entire tag team division, even singles competition. But now Rei Sato is going to do things on his own. Well, his brother's also, Jun Saito is also involved in this thing. And man, he took out Arashima. It was a total hoss fight, if you would know what I mean. But it was a power bomb by Rei Sato. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, done. Excuse me. So basically, Rei Sato received his first 2 points. Now we jump into the B block here. We had Daisuke Sekimoto taking on Yuma Aoyagi. Of course, Yuma Aoyagi has been well recognized in the entire All Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been champion before, but he faces a guy who has done all. He is a veteran. Daisuke Sekimoto. I have to say this match was also a pure hoss fight. I mean, deep down, I would have assumed that Yuma Aoyagi would have picked up the win, but no. It was, in fact, Sekimoto with a Death Valley driver or bomb, whatever he'd use. They take him out, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Sekimoto gets his first 2 points. Then we jump back with the A block. We have Kengo Mashimo taking on Talos. Now, this was a challenge for Kengo for obvious reasons. For those who don't know, Talos is a much taller individual. So basically, you can say this is a David versus Goliath type of situation. But you would have assumed, like in the stories of David versus Goliath, that David would be the one, the victor. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, I'm sure Mashimo must have realized in his mind there was no way he could try to take him out, whatever he was planning to do. So he was able to take him out when he applied an inside cradle, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So he gets his first 2 points. Now, our next match is a non-Champion Carnival tournament match. We have Kento Miyahara, Rookie Honda, Rising Ayato, Atsuki Aoyagi. Yes, guys, Atsuki Aoyagi is Yuma Aoyagi's brother, of course, in case anybody asks. They take on members of Havoc, consistent of Shotaro Hoshino and Odyssey, formerly known as Odyssey Jones. They team up with uh, Musashi and Ryu Inoue. Now, obviously, it was going to be interesting. Now, we know that, of course, Odyssey is in the tournament. We know that Honda and Miyahara are involved, but it was a pretty good match. You would have assumed the worst, but in the end, it was Kento who picked up the victory by implying some momentum for his upcoming match onto Inoue, and he did a German suplex hold, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom, it's over. So we'll be seeing him in a tournament very, very soon. Now our next three matches are the last of the tournament for this tournament of the opening. We have, of course, our next two matches is the A block. We have Zion, who represents, of course, Havoc, takes on Hideki Suzuki. Now, of course, Hideki Suzuki, many of you know him. He is a straightforward wrestler who has, of course, close ties to that whole catch wrestling, kind of like Timothy Thatcher, Charlie Dempsey, those types. And that's exactly what we did. But however, Zion is a beast that could not be contained. He was able to take him out with a diving headbutt, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Zion picked up his first 2 wins. Our next match, we have Jun Saito, of course, Rei Saito's brother, takes on Ren Ayabe. Now, for those who don't know, Ayabe and Talos are tag team champions. So it's obviously they are involved in this tournament as singles competitor, which is good. Same thing with the Saito brothers. But man, this was a hoss fight as well. Like, one tried to lift the other, try to do like a brainbuster or suplex, whatever they tried to do, but it backfired one way or the other. But in the end, it was Ayabe that picked up the win when he applied a Falcon Arrow, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So basically, Ren Ayabe picked up his first 2 points. Now our main event is part of the A block. We have Yuma Anzai taking on Go Shiozaki. Yes, the same Go Shiozaki, many of you remember him from Noah. This is his first time being involved in the Champions Carnival tournament. Basically, as you all know, many of you may remember, Go Shiozaki left Noah, and then he made a surprise visit and joined Havoc. So basically, he is now part of the whole thing with Odyssey, Zion, and of course Shintaro Ushino. And I thought it was a pretty good match. Go Shiozaki, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one who wins the tournament and gets a shot at the Crippled Crown. But he was able to defeat Anzai with a Go Lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. So, as you know, we're early in the tournament. He gets his first 2 points, and this is, of course, Go Shiozaki's first time. So we'll see how much we get done with this one. I really want to get this done. I never get in time with All Japan, but I thought we should do so on this one. So we're done with All Japan. Let's move on with our next review, and I believe we're doing WWE Evolve. Okay, WWE Evolve. So we opened up, of course, as you know, 8 women are involved in the Gauntlet match for crowning the new Evolve Women's Championship. Now, the last person was still unclear who was going to join, and it was later told it became Carmen Petrovic who is going to be involved. And they put out a video about her being, like, what she thought about, of course, Kendall Ray, Callie Armstrong, those, and now she's stepping into this whole thing. So we'll see what happens till there. Now, we did hear from our Evolved men's champion, Aaron Rourke, of course, talk about his match that his first title defense against, of course, Charlie Starboy Hall, of course, and that kind of puts him in a position where he has now turned his attentions to Aaron Lewis. Now, Aaron Rourke did hear what Aaron Lewis was telling him. He's saying that he is ducking him. And of course, Aaron was the kind of person who decided, okay, tell me to my face, why do you think I am ducking you? And Aaron Lewis' excuse, he thinks Aaron Rourke is scared of him. And of course, Aaron Rourke took this like it's a joke. Does he really think Aaron Rourke is, scared of him? No. But however, someone decided to step up saying, that he deserves this title shot more than Harmon Lewis, and that is Braxton, of course. But however, of course, Aaron Rourke said, "Look, I don't mind challenging you both." And of course, once again, Aaron Lewis continues with his this notion that Aaron Rourke is ducking him, and I'm sure many people will say he's not ducking him. I think the problem is Aaron Lewis probably didn't deserve a shot of this belt, because all he does, he didn't earn it. He just thinks it like, I deserved it, that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens down the road. But of course, Braxton attacked both Lewis and Rourke, and I'm sure Rourke will get a little measure of revenge sooner or later. Now, they did put out a new video of Tristan Angels, a new prospect who's some sort of video promotion or vignette, whatever they're doing. But it's kind of interesting. Like, he plays like this handsome dude or something. I don't know. We'll see. Now, our first match is a tag team match. We have Lince Dorada teaming up with Mike Cunningham, but now he goes by Max Abrams. They take on, of course, Santi Rivera and Jabari Ball, new associates of It's Gall, who he, of course, are now under his wing. I thought in this match we would have seen Lince Dorada and Max Abrams won, but somehow Rivera and Ball were able to, of course, do some different type of tag team where they try to isolate one competitor to ensure the tag doesn't made. And unfortunately, it was in fact, Gall tried to get involved, but he got knocked out. But in the end, it was Rivera who picked up the win by pinning Lince Dorada, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Now, our next match, we have Dorian Van Dux taking on Kai Kavari. Nothing too special about this match. I mean, we know Van Dux made his debut already, and he made his appearance in NXT. He was able to pick up the win when he applied a shooting star press, and just like that, it was over. Now, Brooks Jensen, as you know, he has an axe to grind against Cappuccino Jones after what happened in that title match. So basically, he's sending him next week, you and me, in the bull ropes match. So that's going to be a brutal match, one way or the other. Now we jump into our main event for the Gauntlet match of the Evolve Women's Championship. This who came out in the order: Lady Luck, Carmen Petrovic, Callie Armstrong, Wendy Chu, Teremy Steele, Sloane Jacobs, Nikita Lyons, and PJ Vasa. Now, personally, I would have assumed PJ Vasa would have got her opportunity. I mean, she's been aiming for this belt since she first arrived, and which is obviously, I know Nikita Lyons has been aiming for this belt too, believing that she earned it more than everybody else. I mean, you had many girls who had their reasons. Now, this match ended with Wendy Chu applying a Hurricanrana onto Nikita Lyons, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Nikita Lyons picked up the win, and just like that, it was over. So we'll see what happens with Wendy Chu. I'm sure there'll be sharks in the water hunting her down. So we'll see what happens next week. So as of right now, we are officially done with this. Let's move on with our last review, AEW Dynamite. Okay, AEW Dynamite. Now, what's funny about this is how oblivious MJF has been. Now, there is a few things about MJF that many of you may remember about him or know about him, however you want to see it. Well, MJF has certain wrestlers he feels, sorry pal, you don't earn it because you suck. That sort of thing. So basically, he's been unaware that Darby Allin issued a challenge for this belt for Dynamite as we enter the fallout after Dynasty. However, he's not aware about what happened until Don Callis told him, Andrade lost. He's like, what? And of course, Renee had to tell him that this match is happening. But of course, MJF has been trying to divert. However, Bryan Dennison told MJF that the match is going to happen. Main event. So basically, he did not want this. So we'll see what happens. Now, after this past Sunday, there was a video where Kenny Omega, as you know, had a disappointing loss losing to MJF, and sitting next to him is Will Ospreay. Now, it's no secret these two guys, they've been at each other's throats in the past, but it seems like these guys also felt the pain of losing their respective matches. Kenny, deep down in his heart and body, he feels that time is out for him. But Will doesn't see it that way. But of course, in a way, Kenny is like telling Will, "You still got this, man." Like he's trying to say, "I passed the torch to you this time." But Will doesn't see it that way. He still thinks that Kenny has what it takes. He reminded him about the struggles he went through in Japan. If you guys follow the story about Kenny, Kenny has aimed for the IWGP Heavyweight title to defeat one person, and that is, of course, Okada. Will try to make him remember this is who you were back then, and that's who you have to be now. But Kenny is feeling like, I don't know if I can. So we'll see how things go from there. Now, our opening match, we have Tommaso Ciampa taking on Desmond Xavier. I have to say, this is one of those matches where Xavier has to rely on his speed, but when he faces the Psycho Killer. But let's just say the Psycho Killer got his victim, and he took him out with the strike. However, well, just like that, 1, 2, 3 was over. But it seems Tommaso Ciampa has other plans. He did state he wants all the gold, and now he's claiming he's going to watch what's going to happen between MJF and Darby Allin. So most likely he could be someone who will be aiming for this AEW World title, obviously, but we'll see. Now, FTR and that idiot Stokely Hathaway, the little midget, of course, let's just say they're happy about all the things they've done, including retaining the belts, and they're calling out for anybody who's willing to challenge them for this belt. Well, if I were them, be careful what you wish for, but we'll see where that goes from there. Our next match, we have the TNT Championship. Claudio Castagnoli taking on Kevin Knight. And of course, we know Claudio, he hits hard. He would do whatever it takes to bring this title back into the Death Riders, and that's exactly what he was doing. However, Kevin Knight endured a whole lot of pain coming from, of course, Claudio as a member of the Death Riders, but in the end, it was Kevin Knight with the UFO splash, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he retained the belt. And then, of course, he went on the post-match pro to ask the fans to applaud Claudio because he hits hard. And, of course, he knows for a fact that one way or the other, there will be time where his tag team partner, fellow Jet Speed member, Mike Bailey, will be aiming for the belt. So he knows that's up in the air for him on that. So we'll see what happens. Now, Jericho, as you know, he was willing to admit his loss, but however, he's willing to say, yes, I lost, but it wasn't because I was rusty, because it was a 3-on-1 type of scenario, that sort of thing. And of course, Ricochet is trying to tell him, look, just do yourself a favor. Get the hell out. We don't want you here. Nobody wants you here. But what's funny is that Jericho called him bald. And of course, Jericho knows perfectly well Ricochet can't win his matches without Tweedledee and Tweedledum by his corner. And I'm talking about Tail Leona and Bishop Gauntlet. But unfortunately, Jericho got his butt handed to him when he ended up on the gates opened the gates by the GOA. And just like that, it was done. So we'll see what Jericho will do down the road. Now, there was an interview going around that happened this past Sunday. Renee wanted to hear comments from Don Callis and Okada after what happened. Now it seems that Takeshita maybe want to exit out and that sort of thing. So we'll see where that leads. And of course, Don is telling that it's not going to happen that easily. So we'll see. But however, Don Callis does have an axe to grind with Will Ospreay, as you probably know. Basically, he sent the magical wizard, technical wizard, of course, Echiseto to do his work. And of course, we know that Ospreay's dealing with the pain on the back of his neck, and not to mention Echiseto aimed for that. But unfortunately, he ended up on the wrong side of the hidden blade. And Marina Shafir was there too to watch, trying to see if there's any weaknesses towards him. But it did not. But however, of course, it seems that that idiot, Don Moron, decided plan B on Will Ospreay, and he sent Mark Davis, someone who, of course, as many of you know, Will Ospreay brought into the family of the United Empire. So that sets the whole thing. Now, Tekla, as you know, let's just say that she is running her mouth once again and all this, and one person who answered it was Alex Windsor, who felt, hey, you defeated Jamie Hayter, so that means I'm coming at you. But of course, Tekla would send her goons to do her dirty work. I'm talking about Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and that's exactly what we expected. Now, John Moxley was just in the back doing his usual thing along with fellow Death Rider members. He asked Marina Shafir for a report. I think he was looking for some weaknesses coming from Will Ospreay, and he says, well, no. So basically, he's willing to admit that. However, he called out one name, Nick Wayne. So he tells him, you're still young, let's see what you got. But he told him, this will be Eliminator in Collision, and leave your mom in the back, because as you know, this is for the Continental title in the Eliminator match, so he wants her to stay. So we'll see where that goes from there. Now our next match is the TBS Championship. We have, of course, Camille versus Willow Nightingale. Now, if you guys know, Camille attacked Willow during the exclusive interview at Dynasty, and of course Willow gave this title shot, and of course Camille was definitely going to brutalize Willow Nightingale in any way possible, and of course Willow had to endure the whole thing. But frankly, Willow was able to capitalize the backslide, which is a move that's normally not something in your usual arsenal, but is effective, to take him out in the right timing to hold the 3 count. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, I don't know what they were doing together, but of course, Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida were there, and Hikaru was congratulating Willow. It seems that, of course, Hikaru has aimed for the TBS title, so let's see what happens until then. Now, Renee Paquette talked to Darby Allin, of course, preparing for his match. And, of course, Sting shows up and tells him that this is his time and all that. And I'm, so emotional seeing Sting with him. Now we jump into our main event, the AEW World title. However, this match took a very different direction. MJF had to give up the diamond ring. Then he gonads Darby Allin, but it did not work. But, of course, Darby Allin was able to take out MJF when he got low blowed, and Aubrey Edwards, our amazing ref, did not see it. But of course later our Darby Allin applied 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 coffin drops, and then he told him he was gonna use the side headlock takeover, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, brand new AEW World Champion. And of course we had the Locker Room coming out, the Outrunners, Mystico, and a few others. But the one person who said that Darby Allin will become AEW champion, and he predicted this last year, and that is Sting, who came to celebrate with his protege Darby Allin, and now he's telling him, this is your time now, take it. And now he's doing that. So can't wait to see what's going to happen. But of course, I know for a fact that Don Callis would love nothing more to take that belt off of Darby. And we know Tommaso Ciampa's aiming for it. The real question is, who else is aiming for this belt? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. So we'll end things here with AEW Dynamite and move on with our last thing. And we're going to have a very short news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So, we are only going to focus on developments. I have no upcoming events for all of you. Most of them have already been announced, and not to mention, there's no point to put out the ones that are coming for Vegas because we're getting close of that, but I'll explain a little more at the end. Recently, there's been a very interesting development regarding 2 pay-per-views on the same day, June 28th. It seems that AEW Forbidden Door will go head-to-head against TNA Slammiversary. Now, this is a very interesting conundrum. I don't know exactly if this is true or not, but if it is, this is going to be interesting. We now know that for a while people are declaring who's the number 2 promotion. Many people have said it was AEW. Some people, of course, saying that TNA should be the ones taking the number 2. But recently we know that certain wrestlers have criticized TNA for pulling their talent out in some independent shows, all because they don't want to go head to head with AEW. Because we all think that WWE, of course, pulled them out because they don't want no interaction. This is the same old typical thing. But we'll see how that goes. Now, there's been also finally our reports regarding about Wrestlemania. There's going to be some tryouts taking place on at Wrestlemania as well. So we don't know who will be involved. I'm sure there's going to be some local talents from all over the country that probably will be coming. I'm not sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's call it a day. Alright, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Now, before I proceed anything else, well, you should know we are now in the week of WrestleMania. So there's going to be a lot of shows. Now, I may not be able to see a whole lot. So I'm going to pick carefully which ones I want to do, GCW, I hardly do any of those anymore. I mean, I've been stuck on not being able to watch those, all this, and I'm trying to see what I can do. And I'm trying to do the special episodes with TJPW and other promotions. We'll see how that rolls up too. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But I can't wait to see what's... I think I will do both nights of WrestleMania. So I may do those. Not sure. But I do know that Collision will happen on Thursday. That's what I do. And I think Ring of Honor might happen on Friday. That's my prediction right there. But we'll see. But I think for our next episode, it's going to feature TNA and AEW Collision. If there's anything else, we'll just wait and see. So stay tuned for that. As of right now, I'm going to call it a day. And I'm going to say this. I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.